Welcome to the Steelers Realm Podcast. And now, here are the boys of Steelers Realm.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks for the intro, man. Hey, Steeler Nation, what's going on? Welcome to Thursday night. And you know what that means. Another edition of Steelers Realm Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, guys, and he's back. I'm JT. Somebody threw up J Tizzle. I don't know what that means. But anyhow, we're back. And speaking of being back on the other side of the state, our deadly duo tonight joining us back from a small hiatus, famous TA. What's up, brother?
Good afternoon, Steelers Nation. JT, I am back in the saddle. I've been around the world at least twice since the last time we talked, and I'm excited to get back in the saddle again, talking a little Steelers football.
We're going to start calling you Passepartout.
Ha-ha, there you go. That's not bad.
Some of you out there will remember that name, too.
Yeah.
Rounding out the trio tonight, man. Freight Train in the house. What is up? Whoop, whoop.
What is going on, guys? TA, you're back. I've been like a lost puppy without you. Man, I'm so happy you're back. And guys, guess what? The Freight Train name has become a household ticket, man. The Steelers have recognized it, and I got a little bit of insider trading.
What?
I have Matt Canada's playbook right here. For the game against the Eagles. Look at this. It's got the Pound Puppy handbook. It's got the gold stickers in there when he draws up something that works. I'm telling you what, man. Everybody is recognizing the Freight Train name, and boy, it's cashing in now.
Sounds like it's off the rails to me.
It's gaining steam.
That's right.
Couldn't help it. Hey, I had a lot of fun the last couple of days. Speaking of Freight Train and off the rails, TA, you missed our first off the rails. Second, was it second? First? I don't know. Or off the rails. First one.
It was the inaugural one.
The inaugural one. And hey, we came up with a good intro video. TA, wait till you see it, man. We'll shoot it over to you.
But no, I seen it.
Oh, did you?
Seen it. Oh, that's absolutely. Right. No, it was pretty good. I gotta admit, man, there's some pretty creativeness going on in here. I'm liking it.
A good start then?
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah. I even like the fact that you threw in like the 1859 La France train that come out of the side of the building and hit the sidewalk. That was pretty good. I got a picture of that in my bathroom.
Yeah. That was a team effort, collaboration there, pulling some stuff together too. So look for that, Steeler Nation.
Yeah, and we're gonna have
JT. So if that was a team collaboration, which you're telling me the only thing that Freight Train went ahead and added was a conjunction, the little cartoon
junction, baby.
Because I know he didn't come up with anything else but that.
Oh, dude, I love that tune. Conjunction, junction. What's your function? God, I love it.
Okay, so I answered that question.
Yeah, you did.
You guys, exciting. There's an exciting off the rails for the second one. There's going to be a famous person and a new guest in this next one.
Nice.
So make sure you tune in to this one.
Nice. Freight Train's going silver streak on us here.
Oh, you got it, baby. Yep. We're going.
Well, hey, we got a game. Speaking of we got a game coming up this Sunday, 1 o'clock, back to normal time, guys. And we don't have to travel far. Same state time. Heading over to Philly, Lincoln Financial Field to take on the undefeated so far Eagles. Whew. As if our test so far hasn't been a good one. Anyhow, 1 o'clock kickoff there. Looks like a decent, balmy weekend, so weather should be okay. TV coverage is on CBS. That was a little weird last week, but and we got the A team handling this broadcast tonight. Jim Nance, Tony Romo, and Tracy Wolfson on the sideline. Of course, you can catch Steelers Radio Network on the radio, listen in with our man Bill Hillgrove, along with Craig Wolfley doing color, and then Missy and Max on the sidelines too. You can catch that on DVE 102.5 in the Pittsburgh or western southwestern PA listening area. If you're out in Indiana area, you can catch them on WDAD. They're also on AM WBGG 970 AM too. So, they're saying 63 degrees, guys. A little bit of cloudy. And, here we go. Our Steelers coming off that 2-5. We're 2-5 coming off that loss to Miami, which we could have won that game. According to Tomlin, a couple interceptions away from it there, but Eagles 6-0.
That was 4, JT, not a couple.
So now maybe this might work in our favor. A little rust coming off a bye week, but they are favored by 11, and the over-under in this game's 43. Did you ever notice that over-under doesn't really go too far? It bounces between like 41 and maybe into the 50s or low 50s.
Not with our offense. We're always on the under.
Yeah, right. 13 points a game average. But, so that sets the scene before we get into the by the numbers. Freight Train, you handling that tonight?
I'm your numbers guy on this one.
Well, guess who's back to handle the ambulance report anyhow?
Hey,
looking forward to.
First things first, JT. Don't allow him to take the thunder away from me.
He knows only he can do. But hey, I want to send a quick shout out. We already talked about Off the Rails too, but hey, we're working on our website, SteelersRealm.com. Should be things should be happening here in the next couple of days too. So thanks for bearing with us on that. We're gonna have new emails associated with it too. Plus, we'll be doing the drop baller of the week, along with some other great commentary and blogs as we go there too. So keep your eyes open for that. And with that said, man, let's jump into it. Freight Train, what do you got by the numbers, man?
Hey, 259 is our first number.
Okay.
This is the amount of points this offense is on pace to score in 2022. That would be 30 fewer points scored than when they had Mason and Duck at quarterback in 2019. You guys remember how atrocious that was.
It was not pretty.
We're on pace to be worse. So, not looking good. Next up, we have...
Well, wait a second. Hey, with the playbook you just showed me, I can understand why.
Well, he can't even stay in between the lines. Good thing he came with stickers, make it look pretty.
Yeah, really.
But 15.4 is our next one. The Steelers offense hasn't scored 21 plus points since week 17 last year. Big Ben's final home game. You remember that? Since then, we are averaging 15.4 points per game since. That's not getting it done. That is, atrocious isn't even the word to give it.
No. What else you got?
So, hey, just to ease Steelers fans a little bit. 2-0. The Steelers are 2-0 when leading after the first quarter. Guess what they are when they aren't leading after the first quarter?
Let me guess. Wait a second. We're 2-5. 0-5?
Bingo. You get a gold sticker.
Yeah,
sure. Thanks, Canada.
Yeah. See all that time off, man. He's just honed his skill set so much.
Well, I tell you what, let me throw one more number out there. Let's see how well you guys are. 1965.
65. Is that the year Chuck Noll was hired?
Negatory. That was 69.
Okay.
Let's see. The amount of times Matt Canada screwed up a play.
Negatory, but that was a very good guess because he's on pace to hit that. He's on pace to get that.
A couple dozen years at this pace, man.
Right.
Geez.
Well,
so
1965, boys, is the last time we won in Philadelphia.
Oh, wow. That's encouraging. Yeah, Philly has not been a good team for us to face. Either way. I don't think we fared too well at home either against Philly.
Is it the Steagles curse or what?
Well, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, you figure we're 48-29-3 against them. Now, if any of you have been listening to us for a long, long time, you guys should remember we had an episode way back when where Art Rooney actually bought controlling interest of the Philadelphia Eagles and sold the Pittsburgh Steelers only to swap teams after that was bought. Do you guys remember that?
Well, of course.
Oh, look at that.
I've listened to all of them.
You've listened to all of them. So, and then of course we did have the Steagles going back to 1943. Good old World War. Which one was it? 1 or 2? How's your math?
It'd be 1, wouldn't it be?
43 would be
2.
1. 2.
It'd be 2.
Hey,
45 is over.
I've never claimed to be a historian or a mathematician.
No.
TA just likes fucking with you. What? Come on. What are you going to do?
Hey, he's back into those old ways.
All right. Since you're into numbers, man, let's get into the numbers, how they look as far as players and what numbers are going to be playing and who we're going to be facing, man. So what do you got for the ambulance report, brother?
Well, let's put it this way. As far as the Philadelphia Eagles go, they had a bye week, JT. Everybody's practicing. And granted, it's been limited practice, but they're all practicing. Or they're resting players. I don't know how much more rest they need, but at the end of the day, everybody's going to be ready for the Eagles. Now, on our side of the ball, that's a whole nother subject. Now, we are going to get Witherspoon back, it looks like, because he's been full participation.
That's good.
Levi Wallace, I mean, that little tackle he did when he hit the ground and messed up his shoulder, I don't expect to see him on the field. Other than that, we've got a little bumps and bruises, as Tomlin would like to say this time of year. Nothing really, but probably the biggest one not playing is Levi. But we do get Witherspoon back, so
that's good.
I mean, it's pretty much. We'll just leave it at that.
Now, a guy who was go ahead, Freight Train.
Do you have a TJ update? I mean, I'm running out of patience here.
Why do you want a TJ update? We've already decided TJ ain't coming back until after the bye week. I mean, if you're talking about the fact that he went to practice, hoo-ha. We knew he was going to come to practice because he's on the 21 day. If you're all getting excited about that, you might want to slow down. Christmas is not here yet.
Hey, you're the injury Nostradamus. So I was just seeing if maybe you had some good wisdom in there to spill and see if we're getting him early or not.
Well, let's not slip out of here without mentioning another guy, and that was Calvin Austin, third.
Oh, you mean our great number 4 draft pick that we're excited to see hit the field, JT?
That we haven't seen hit the field yet?
And we're not going to.
We're not going to.
He's done for the year.
Oh, man.
Put a fork in him. He's done.
So
re-injured his foot.
Today was like the cutoff for his IR. We either had to put him on the roster or stay there.
We're not going to do it. He's probably going to have a little bit of surgery, and we'll get to see him next year. So we've got a plus next year. He'll be a rookie without any miles on him.
And we haven't heard anything about Kazee or Kazoo or Kazaa.
Oh, Kazee will probably be ready after the bye week.
Cool.
He's
was
ready
that a broken
to go
bone in his hand, or what was the deal there? Was it a wrist? Was it a wrist thing? I thought it was a hand or a wrist.
You know what? To be honest with you, I ain't seen him since training camp, so I really don't care. I mean, at this point in time, really the only thing that needs to come back is TJ, because now we're 1-7 this season without him.
Yeah,
or 1-6, or
the way the defense looked,
whatever.
The way the defense looked last week, he's the missing key piece to get it rolling, at least on that side of the ball.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you've got Highsmith bouncing from one side to the other, and all of a sudden he can't find the quarterback.
Nope.
So much for leading the league in sacks.
Yeah, hasn't been able to find one there. What about our tight end, man? What's the deal with Muth?
Oh, Muth will be back, man. He just got a little bit of a twisted ankle, man. He, a little ice, couple ice baths, a few injections. He'll be back on the field. I mean, he can't afford to miss anymore. I mean, he's got at least one more concussion coming this year, so he's got to play.
You foreseeing that concussion?
I am, because I mean, for all Muth is, I mean, Muth plays with a lot of heart and a lot of spirit. And until he figures out that he needs to kind of go down a little bit or figure when to plow and when not to plow, I mean, it's kind of like a Troy Polamalu situation, man. I mean, Troy in his younger years, with us, had multiple concussions. It wasn't until he kind of figured it out on how I'm going to go ahead and expand my NFL career. Freiermuth's in that same boat right now. Now, hopefully he figures it out like Troy did. If not, well, come on, Gentry. Or
I will say
Cam's little brother.
It looked like Muth had a different helmet on this past week. Did it look a little different? Look bigger.
It was a different helmet.
I didn't pay any attention. I'll have to.
Absolutely. It was the concussion protocol helmet.
Yeah. I mean, some extra marshmallows in there.
Add some extra marshmallows in there.
Yeah. Why don't they just put the condom on too while you're at it?
Don't say that too loud, JT, because that's probably coming in a few years from now.
Yeah. That's coming. Well, how about quit giving cheap shots? Quit leading with cheap shots to the head of our tight end. How about that? Give the dude a break, man.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but unfortunately, this is the NFL, and he's not a defensive receiver.
No, because he's too big.
Correct.
All right, well, let's get into it, man. Before we do that, though, I want to give a shout out to our man Willie Hobbs. Got a new picture all dressed up on Facebook, but check out his site, My Time Your Time, and check out the spelling right below there, mytimeyourtime.com. Check out his art, subscribe there, help him out, help a brother out. I might even send you some of his cool music that he produces too. But yeah, Willie Hobbs, My Time Your Time, Pittsburgh sports artist, and you might even catch him down in the Gold Lot, right with Ray Seal's little tailgate party down there. So sometimes those guys all hang out down there. So catch them there the next home game. So with that said, man, let's look at their offense. We talked about this a little bit before. We kind of threw some stuff as far as RPOs around, but let's dig into it. So far they're averaging 26.8 yards points per game and 408 yards per game, 252 of those passing and 156 rushing. So pretty balanced attack there. 26.8 compared to what have we been averaging? Our score 15.4. I'd say we got our work cut out for us. But anyhow, Freight Train, who's the number one offensive weapon that we're going to have to watch out for?
Well, without taking the easy road and talking about Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown is the number one guy you got to watch out for. He's the best at getting chunk plays in the receiver position. He can make any catch. Is Jalen Hurts' number one target. This guy, I'm not kidding you, has hands the size of iron skillets that you can cook with your bacon and whatnot. I'm telling you, this guy's hand size is massive. He makes every play. He is the true definition of a number one receiver, unlike what we have right now. So he's having a good year so far, 33 receptions, 503 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So you're going to have to keep an extra set of eyes on that guy.
Well, let's face it. All right. There's not just him you have to worry about. You got 2 other cats. I mean, right now, they are on pace to have 3 wide receivers over 1,000 yards this year. So another cat is Dallas Goedert. I mean, he's not only good in the vertical game, he is a giant red zone target for Hurts. Now, He does show up in the run game as one of the best blocking tight ends in the league. He's 6'5", 256 pounds. He's already got 26 receptions for 357 yards and a touchdown. But then you also got Devontae Smith. He's got 397 yards. I mean, they are spreading the ball around to their three big weapons. And here's one other thing. I know Jalen Hurts is the one, is the most obvious, but do you realize that cat does not turn the ball over? He is one of only seven in history to be 10 interceptions in 25 career starts. So we cannot drop the ball if we give a gift this week. We need to catch it. So bring out the stick 'em, boys.
That's it.
And on top of that, he has one of the best offensive lines in football, anchored down with Jason Kelsey, and I think they're getting Lane Johnson back this week. So that offensive line is top notch as well. So it's gonna be kind of hard to get a pass rush, even though we don't technically even really have one. But it's gonna be even harder this week.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Our defense is definitely going to have their hands full. The only thing that I'm hoping for right now is that we got to see enough RPO last week against Miami. And granted, Jalen runs it 10 times better than what Miami does.
Right.
But we were very sound against the RPO last week. We're going to have to be even more sound this week because let's face it, we held Miami without any points in the second half. And that game was very much ours in check. If we can do the same thing against Philadelphia, we got a chance to pull this game out.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to boil down to like it was last week. We got extremely good play from the linebackers, specifically the middle linebackers. Devin Bush played great coverage. He was up against Tyreek Hill a couple plays. And obviously Miles Jack played tremendous like he has all year. This is another one.
Yeah.
It's going to be crucial for them to have a good game to keep us in the ball game.
Well, what was it? I think it was 17 plays last week that we had actually all three inside linebackers on the field at the same time. I expect to see that again this week.
Yep.
If not more.
One's just playing spy, essentially.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with that RPO, smart game plan. Let's hope they can hang. The big key there, I think, guys, is going to be creating some pressure, man. You've got to create some pressure and force some things, get the timing off, because they certainly are a well-oiled group from the limited amount that I've had a chance to see to it. So,
and JT, not to cut this short before we go on, but you're absolutely right. Against Miami, we were very gap sound. I think Tua only ran out of the pocket once or twice where we lost gap contain, but we did not pressure him enough. We had one pressure from Highsmith. We need more of that from our interior defensive line.
Well, I don't think that they were too worried about him running. He seemed pretty in some of his pregame interviews and whatnot that he wasn't going to be taking a lot of chances against the Steelers. So I don't know. Was that just word salad or was that really true coming off of 2 concussions in 2 weeks?
Well, you saw him on a couple run plays. He even went head first on one of them. I think it just wasn't there. I just think we didn't give it to him.
Yeah, we were pretty gap sound. But being gap sound, we also didn't take the risk in going to him.
No. And in a talented group like that, you can't give them too much time. And we're going to be faced with that again this week. So, yeah. Hands full. Hey, before we get into kicking it around to the defensive line, let me throw just a quick plug for our Facebook group. God, my tongue's not working today. Steelers Nation local number 724. Check us out on Facebook. Stop by, join up, and have some good conversation. We're always putting good topics out there, keeping the quality of Steelers conversation up. And we don't have a lot of bashers either, guys. Do you think? Like you have a lot of them, like not a lot of negativity, just some realism and some good interactive discussions about Steelers. So stop by Steelers Nation Local number 724 and sign up, man. We'd love to have you there too. And speaking of which, we also broadcast every Thursday night, and we're going to go live off the rails after every game from now on, and then recap what we saw over the weekend on Mondays too. So we're live 3 nights a week, TA. Awesome is that now? Go from 1 to 3. So make sure to catch us out. Jump in, throw some comments. We'd love to get them up there. Just like some of our regular listeners too. Mm-hmm. So it's defensive. Anything else on the defense? Eagles defense that makes you think it's going to limit Kenny Pickett's and our offensive's ability to move the ball, get more than 13 points?
Yeah, they're cornerbacks.
So it doesn't get any easier on this side of the ball. Is that what you're saying, Freight Train?
No, not at all. I mean, I think the 3 of us could go out there and maybe keep them to at least 12. I mean, you got a couple all pros sitting right here in front of this screen.
Hey, with your playbook, I'm sure I can keep them to 10.
Oh, guarantee. I got all the secrets.
And the gold stickers.
Yep.
That's it. They come with crayons too?
No crayons. You got to bring your own crayons.
Okay.
Yeah.
That might be handicap.
I've already ate them.
Might be a handicap.
Well, that's why they don't give him markers, because he sits there and sniffs them.
We want him at least
he would have an excuse then.
Yeah, that's why he's always high. That's what it is. But anyways,
dig into that. So what's going to be Kenny and company's biggest challenge moving the ball, man?
So most people would say their best cornerback is Darius Slay. That's not a bad argument, but I think their number 1 cornerback is a guy named James Bradberry. He has become one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Now, mind you, they picked him up on the offseason. He came from the Giants. The Giants gave up on him. Opposing quarterbacks have an 18.1 QBR rating throwing towards this guy. I mean, he is not letting anything happen. He's going to be on your number 1 guy. But like I said, Darius Slay is no slouch either. So they got their hands full with this secondary. One of the best in the NFL right now.
Well, you know what? And right now they're leading the NFL with most interceptions and most forced incompletions. So you're right. So is Bradberry going to line up against George, Deontay, and allow Chase to go the go route?
Go Chase, go.
Yeah, go for it. Hey, watch your step, bud. Don't fall down. No, I don't. And the thing is with those two, I don't even think they have to switch. I think one of them just takes one side of the field and the other one takes it, and they'll go up against whoever. That's how good those two are.
Well, I tell you what, this whole defense, first and foremost, I mean, they're 4th ranked in the NFL. So they're no slouch going up against the 30th ranked offense. That right there spells bad news. But this defense from top to bottom is stout, and they have a dominant group, and it's hard to single just one guy out. You've got, of course, the old timer Fletcher Cox. But I think the guy who is really going to turn into the next Fletcher Cox, anybody got an idea?
Jordan Davis, baby.
Jordan Davis. Exactly right, man. This guy is playing. He's a rookie. He's playing with a high level. I mean, he is scheduled to just come in there and take over for the next 12 years. And let's not forget, they just added Robert Quinn from Chicago this week. Now, I'm not sure if he's going to be ready enough to play, if not maybe in some spot position, just enough to cause a little bit of havoc. But the thing that gets me and where we've struggled the most is 3rd down. And their defense right now has a passer rating of 58 right now. They're third best in the league, man. We're going to have some issues, and we're really going to find out whether or not Canada is really worth his salt if his ceiling is as high as what Tomlin thinks it is. And once we all get past the negativity and we get on the positive train and we're all hugging and loving each other like this is 1969 in the field with the flower hippies, we're going to be okay. Well, Tomlin, we're going to find out in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, whether or not that love is coming to Pittsburgh.
You know what I instantly thought of as soon as you said that, TA? You know what I think his adjustment's going to be? And I'm not kidding. So instead of running it on first down, we're going to run the ball on third down.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't be opposed to that because we can't seem to run the ball on any down. And when you want him to pass, he runs the ball because everybody knows he's going to run the ball.
Yeah.
There is no for an offense that was supposed to be misdirection and fakes and to throw the defense off balance. My God, watching the games, it's easy to tell what we're doing every single play.
Yep. Stack the box. They're not going to throw it over your head.
Yeah, it makes it up.
Because I mean, we can't even throw the ball 20 plus yards.
No.
But you know what's even interesting about that?
Let's correct that. Without throwing an interception.
Without throwing an interception. So let's
we have thrown a few deep ones. However,
it doesn't look pretty. So here's the other thing that I found that was interesting. Clay was
Chase.
Claypool was talking about, not having enough go routes. Where right now, George Pickens and Deontay lead the league top 5, lead the league in go routes. Now, Chase isn't in that party, but those two are. But yet we still haven't had a 1 over 20 yards, 40 yards. We're last in the league in that as well, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I just do not understand what we are trying to accomplish on offense. And this is not the defense to go out and try to figure it out this week.
Well, and you want to know how good their defense is? So they use a 3-3-5 personnel group 63% of the time on defense. So, and then in a stacked box look, they only use that 12% on their defense. So the numbers are there for us to have a good offensive day because they're not doing what everybody else is doing against us because that's not how they run their defense. But it may change.
And the thing is, too, is they rely heavily on their linebackers to create the pressure. That front 4 clogs the holes, but it's those 3 between Edwards and Reddick and who's the other cat? Well, I guess you could say Sweat, defensive end. They're the ones leading the Philadelphia Eagles right now when it comes to sacks. So if we're not watching that second tier, we're in trouble. I think the only thing, in all honesty, I think that we could get away with is if we can catch them in a blitz package, being over aggressive. That's when we need to hand the ball off and hopefully get past that second layer into the secondary. And here's one other thing too, guys. Let's keep this in perspective. The Philadelphia Eagles are undefeated. Now, as an NFL fan, we all look at like, ooh, man, they're undefeated, man. They're the only team left, blah, blah, blah. But let's not forget, they have the second easiest schedule of the NFL. We, on the other hand, have the second toughest schedule in the NFL. So something's got to kind of give here. And the only wins, they have only played 2 teams out of 6 with a winning record. The other 4 all have losing records. So if we have a shot, this might just be the week because when you look at their overall coming off of a bye, it's 50-50. We have a 50-50 chance of taking this game.
So, listeners, what TA is trying to say here is your record usually is an indication of how good you are, but that's not always the case.
Well, let's take a look at it. The Lions, they won by 3 against the Lions, first game of the year. They handled Vikings pretty good. They handled the Commanders pretty good, 24-8. Jags held their own for a while. Probably wasn't as close as the score looked, but 29-21. And then just coming off, the Cardinals, 3-point win there. Yeah, 3-point win there. And then 9-point win over the Cowboys before their bye.
Yeah. See, now most of those teams have a losing record, or the other teams had a key person missing. So the Cowboys didn't have Dak, and the Cardinals didn't have DeAndre Hopkins.
Good points.
The only team that was solid that has a winning record, I mean, besides Dallas, was the Vikings. But that was week 2. So, I mean, everybody's still trying to get their groove is basically the bottom line. This team can be beaten. And as far as what the hell's the coach's name here? They keep changing them over in Philadelphia like Cleveland changes. Sirianni. He is Sriracha. He is 1-0 after the bye. Now, if we're in a 50-50 league, this could be his loss to even that out.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go into every week optimistic, but
yeah, sure.
Then reality sets in as soon as Sunday gets here.
Just never know. Well, let's kick some thoughts around here. I'm going to get started here with Najee. We haven't really talked about him yet. Seemed like he was hitting holes a little bit harder. He was getting those extra yards a little bit more. Had a couple decent little runs where he got through to the second level. What has to happen there, guys? I mean, do we need to start building on that? How important is the running game going to be in this game coming up this weekend?
It's extremely important. I mean, we just said it. They're going to be blitzing nonstop. They have fast linebackers. They need Najee to rip off some big runs and keep them honest back there. And that's going to help Kenny find open receivers if that defense is staying honest.
Yeah. What about some screens? We really haven't seen much of that, have we? We can incorporate Warren in that some?
You know who I'd like to see be incorporated in that? I'd like to see more Hayward.
I thought you were going to say Benny Snell.
No. I want to see more Hayward. I would like to see Hayward brought in there because the kid has demonstrated he's got great hands. He's also got blocking ability. Every time he's come in there, he has been solid. I haven't seen one play yet this year that he has not excelled in what he was sent out there to do. I would like to see more Hayward this week.
Oh, yeah. He's earned his time on the field. I mean, you can see it. As soon as the ball's in his hand, his hair's on fire.
And you brought up Jalen. I would like to see Warren come in on those situations. And I agree with you.
Third down.
Instead of on third down, if we're going to run, bring Jalen in when they're going to bring the house.
Yep.
Bring Jalen in on a 3rd and 7 and run the ball. If you don't make it, I'm not going to get upset. You know why? Because if it would have been a pass play, you was only going to throw it 3 yards anyways.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let me see if Jalen can't run at 7.
Yeah. Well, and you're looking for leverage there. You got to think smaller body. He's going to be able to hide behind the bigger bodies. You bring in a guy that's 6'2" on a 3rd and short, he's easy to pinpoint. Bring in the small bowling ball
up there,
and get it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Jalen brings you, man. It's just like Drew Jones from Jacksonville years ago, man. He was such a small, squatty
Mm.
body. He got lost in that offensive line. You didn't know who you were supposed to tackle. Next
Nick
thing you know,
Chubb.
he's squirting out for 10. Nick Chubb, there you go. There's another one.
Well,
I mean,
guys,
bring
we
him
saw
in.
it. We saw it in the preseason. That's how the offense was. Master Teague was that guy. He got hurt. Then Jalen started getting his opportunities. You saw him come in on those short down situations, and he'd rip off 7, 8, 10-yard runs. Where has that gone?
Well, and the thing is we have so many offensive weapons. I just cannot understand how an offensive coordinator cannot figure out how to use this.
Well, that's a good point, TA. And a lot of talk today on the radio, the chatter and social media was that, uh, when pressed, Canada's under a extreme amount of heat this past week, and it continues to get worse. But he claims that we've got the talent there. We're right on the verge of, seeing it really come together. So I don't know. I love the optimism of it, but we do have talent. I mean, let's rewind a little bit. 7, 8 weeks ago, when Bill Hillgrove came on to tell us what his thought of this team was, and he certainly felt we were talented enough to surprise a few people. Now, I don't think this was the surprise that he was talking about.
Well,
and
he surprised
get him
people,
back
all right.
on. I'd love to get him back on again now to get his thoughts currently, unabridged thoughts on it. But a lot. Speaking of Canada, I mean, a lot of talk. Is this his last hurrah? Is this, this bye week coming up? Is this his last chance to make something happen? Could they possibly fire him mid-season? Now,
Well, according
Pony
to Didi,
from
yeah.
Pony kind
Go
of put
ahead.
her on the spot, and she kind of thought that, hey, worst come to worst, if they were going to fire him, might not be a bad time now.
Do it
But
now.
did you see she did kind of retract from that as well?
Yeah, she did.
Said,
She
Pony, you're putting words in my mouth. That's
Right.
not exactly what I said, and took it out of context. But Aditi knows this team.
Yeah.
So I would like go ahead, Freight Train.
I'm just
no. We're all right there in the same mindset of,
I know,
where's this team going after the bye? And what's this game going to bring us? And what are we going to do after the bye? Because if we go 2-6, that's a long road to travel for the playoffs.
3-5 with this schedule doesn't seem as bad than 2-6. You know what I mean?
Right.
But my take on Canada is, obviously, I want them the heck out of town. And the track record that Tomlin seems to have with these coaches is he goes with an in-house option 9 times out of 10. Why not try out James Sullivan, who is basically the next heir apparent of the offensive coordinator if Canada is gone? It's going to be a lost season at that point. You're 2-6. It's a lost season. Let's just be real here. Try him out. See what he has to offer. And honestly, the way this team is acting with Matt Canada, I think he would give this team a little jolt and a little bit of energy if they got rid of the flu bug that is Matt Canada on this team.
Hey, and let's face it. Look what Boz did last week or the week prior to that, where we won, and Matt's like, yeah, he's like, it wasn't because of you.
Right. That's what I mean. Just get rid of them. You'll see the attitude change because they won't feel handcuffed. Now, I don't know, James or Sullivan could end up being worse. Who knows? But I honestly don't believe it can get worse. I mean, you're averaging 15 points a game.
It can get worse, Freight Train. It can get worse. Be careful what you wish for.
Hey, you know what? I'm just a spoiled Steelers fan, okay? But you know what I mean? I feel like it would bring a jolt to this team. Like, oh, we finally got the monkey off our back. This guy's gone. We'll go with Sullivan. See what he has to offer. I mean, I do think they need to figure it out soon because you do have a rookie quarterback that is relying on this with his career. You're kind of playing with fire.
Well, you definitely don't want to jeopardize his confidence. And one thing Tomlin did say is he likes Pickett's aggressiveness. And I got to admit, I like Pickett's aggressiveness as well, too. You go back to that Miami game. Yeah, I wish he would have took off running for that first down and got out of bounds. Okay. Instead, he decided to throw it to Deontay. And, Ben even said it, what was that play? Was he thinking Deontay was coming back for the ball and that's why he threw it where he did, to where Deontay had a chance and Deontay ran to go instead? That's a communication between the receiver and the quarterback that you have to talk about after the game. And we've seen that in Ben's earlier years as well. I'm just hoping that they are coaching him accordingly to keep his confidence, keep his aggressiveness where it needs to be.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, Peyton Manning, who's arguably one of the best quarterbacks to play the game, set the rookie record for touchdowns with 26. He also threw 28 interceptions that rookie year. So your career is not defined by how many interceptions you throw that first year. Keep the aggressiveness. Keep going downfield.
That's it. Bubba, you're right. Fire Canada. It's time to bring it back to the U.S., baby.
That's it. Well, hey, guys, we're about up against it once again. Great to be with you. I'm hoping we can pull it out. We want to throw some predictions out there? Or do we just want to say win or loss this week?
Well, why change it up? Let's go for the predictions. Let's face it. The nice thing about it is over the course of the last 5 games we've played, we're 3-2, and that was with Big Ben.
Oh, well, hey, I'm going to run over and grab a pencil real quick. Hang with me. Keep it going.
Oh,
be right back.
He goes and gets a pencil because remember, folks, I ate all the crayons. So JT's completely out of crayons right now.
And I sniffed the markers.
So now he's looking for a piece of pencil and a cardboard box. I can tell you, because he ain't got no paper.
Right. Yeah.
But I will say this. At the beginning of the season, I went ahead and I called this a loss right off the get-go because, again, we have not won in Philadelphia since 1965.
No.
So you know what, Freight Train? I am a homer. I am going to go ahead and go with the Philadelphia Eagles with a victory.
Keep it in state. I like where your head's
Keep
at.
it in state. No, I can't do that. I just can't do that. I cannot lose faith in this team. So, JT, do you got your crayon and your cardboard yet?
I do, but you know what I don't have in front of me is how we did last week and where we're at so far.
But CJ saved us all, apparently, and picked the Dolphins, remember? Us 3 had the Steelers winning. Praying for a miracle.
CJ's the only realist out of all of us.
Well, he went against the grain and figured I better do something different if I'm either gonna burn or pick one up.
Yeah,
so
he originally picked the Steelers.
All right, so let's just retouch on it real quick. The over under, Eagles are given 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the over under was
43.
43.
The Steagles, baby.
Oh,
World War
See, that's what we do.
Back.
Let's just do a Steagles game. Everybody will put a pool of all their players together, and then it'll be like backyard football. You have 2 captains, and you pick from the both teams to fill your roster. Might be onto something. Maybe we created a whole nother league, TA. Call Dwayne Johnson, see if he'll back us.
There you go. Well, let's get your predictions. Who wants to go first? TA,
go ahead, Freight Train. Oh no, I'm gonna let Freight Train go first. Absolutely, he's the one with the coloring book for the playbook.
I got Canada's playbook right here.
Now here it is.
The puppies. I think originally, JT, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I originally had us losing this game on the big show, right?
Let me just look it up here. Let's see. We are
week 8.
Philadelphia Street, Philadelphia. Yep. Actually, yeah, Bubba and his buddy were the only ones that picked them to win against Philly.
I think Bubba might be onto something. I think I'm going to change it. I think we're going to win. I think we're going to change our fortune.
Wow.
I think we're going to win. I think we're going to win 15.4 to 12. We're going to hit our average.
We're going to win by 15.2 to 12.
15. Is it 15 point? Yeah, 15.2 to 12.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Boz, you got to hit that upright twice to get the point 2.
Yep.
Is that
on the
it?
kickoff? Put it through the uprights.
You doing the uprights. That's point 2.
Yep.
All right, JT, you're next.
That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting rule change. If you hit the upright, it's worth 1.5 points.
Mm-hmm. And guys, I'm going to be right. I'm going to be right if we're up 10-3 after the first quarter, because we're 2-0 when we lead after the first quarter.
Doink. So you're going to hear doink. All right.
Or if we're up 3-0 and he doinks another one. How about that?
I am not as optimistic as you, Freight Train. And I have the Eagles winning big, 31-18 over the Steelers.
Ouch.
I think we improve our score.
Oh, that's a big improvement.
By a field goal.
By 2.6.
Wow.
But still not enough to overcome being out of town over in Philadelphia, where they hate Pittsburgh fans and teams, period.
Well, we don't like them either, so
Gonna be ugly.
Mutual.
So anybody get CJ's by any chance?
No, we didn't.
While you go, I'm gonna text him, see if I can get one real quick.
Well,
he might be at the bar.
Part of me that really wants to say stick with my big show prediction and Pittsburgh loses. However, well, not even before however, I even want us to lose because I really want to see if Mike will go ahead and fire Canada during the bye week.
Ulterior motives there, TA.
Dang.
I do have ulterior motives. I'm really thinking, if we get beat, what'd you say, 31-18?
Yes, sir.
31-18. Is that enough to run Canada finally out of town?
No, that's too close of a game. That's way too close.
Of a game.
That's too many points for them to score. He'll get a plus. He'll get a gold star in his playbook at the end.
So it's got to be 41-18 for us to get Canada out, right?
Yeah, either that or
no,
11.
Not even score 18. It has to be 13 or less.
41-13.
41-13. There you go.
Like I'm too much of a diehard, and 1965. That's a long time to go. That's like the Cleveland Indians since the last time they won a World Series or some shit like that.
48.
48. Yeah. I mean, that's a long time not to be able to win. I like the fact that they're coming off a bye week. I like the odds. I'm going to have to go ahead, and I think the defense is just done losing. I think that they're doing everything they can to help this young man out. So I am going to go ahead and go 23-17. Steelers.
Whoa.
Man, and Canada keeps his job.
Unfortunately.
I liked where you were going before you said all that.
I did too, Freight Train. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, the quicker we can get him on the bus out of town, the better off we're gonna be.
I'd rather him be gone than be 3-5 at the bye. Unfortunately,
man,
that would feel like a win.
But at 2-6, man, that's just I can't. Yeah,
you're done.
Tomlin's got to finish at least Well, he'll only finish 1-4 for October.
Yeah. Well, at least if he finishes
so
with
2-3 or 2-2. Let's go 2-2. Come on, Tomlin. Got to keep that October streak going.
But then they won't shove down the 15 consecutive winning season things down our throat every time they're on TV.
Yeah. All right, we got a prediction from CJ.
Philadelphia 85, Steelers 2.
I don't know if you were listening, dude. But he has very close to my score. CJ picked the score to be 31-17, not 31-18 as I picked it. The Eagles.
Oh, Canada will get fired if it's 17, JT. If it's 17, he gets fired. If it's 18,
not 18.
He keeps his job.
Not 18. Yeah. All right. Well, it's good we clear that up. So now not only do we know what the score is going to be, but we're going to know whether Canada is still going to be around after the bye week or not.
He'll be around. It doesn't matter if we win or lose. He's not going nowhere.
Let's see what Bubba took. 17-14. Who did you take?
Oh, he took the Steelers.
Took the Steelers 17-14.
Oh, I guarantee it. It's Bubba. Come on now.
Down 17-3. We'll be in trouble.
We all know him better than that. I got a better chance of seeing God than Bubba betting against the Steelers.
Oh, man. Yeah, Steelers. Okay. We figured, buddy. We figured. Thanks, Bubba. Thanks for tuning in.
Hopefully we see God in Philadelphia.
Yeah. He takes on the shape of an offensive coordinator and takes us to victory.
What's the chances of Canada hitting a blue tent and being carted off the field? What's the odds on that? Is there a bet on that?
If a pissed off TA gets into the box,
I don't know. Maybe a raven flies in there and pokes his eyes out or something. I don't know. I don't
know. At this point,
he's up there. He's safe, man. He's up in the castle. He's safe, dude.
I'd just like to see Cam come running over the sideline for a tackle on Jalen and say, oops, I missed Jalen and just took out Canada. I mean, I'd be okay with that too.
All righty. Well, hey, you heard it here, guys. All your Steelers news, you can find it right here. You don't need to listen to the radio. You don't need to listen to a DD or TV. You got it right here. Steelers Realm podcast. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure again. TA, good to see you. Welcome back, buddy. Good to have you back, man.
Hey, it's good to be back in Steelers Nation. I know this is hard. I know it's hard. Trust me. But by God, there is light at the end of the tunnel. I just don't know how long the tunnel is.
That's it. It could be very short. Freight train looking forward to going off the rails. Hopefully we're going to be happy when we go off the rails this Sunday at 4:15 p.m.
Yep. Yeah. Guys, make sure you tune in. Win or loss, you're going to get a reaction. And T, I think that light in the tunnel is me coming through it and hitting you on the other side. But Steelers Nation, I love you. Go Steelers. Let's go for 5-3. Feel good heading into the bye. Maybe still fire Canada. Who knows?
5-3? Wait a second. We're going to win like 4 games on this?
I said 3-5, didn't I?
You said 5-3.
Wishful thinking.
That's it.
You know, I'm used to saying
it's a dyslexia coming through.
Yeah. I'm used to saying 5-3 at a bye and being like, why the hell are they 5-3?
You need to get rid of that playbook, man. You've been reading too many Pound Puppies.
Well, I told CJ last show I need to get rid of them damn Pokemon cards, but he made me keep them.
So Sunday, we're either going to continue and work toward a winning season, a winning record, or the season may be wrapped up if we don't win this game. Yep. Stay tuned and find out right here. Steelers Realm podcast. Careful in the hot tub, everyone. We'll see you next time. We're out of here.
Check back next week into the Steelers Realm.